the email, forwarded the email to try and log into my laptop, only because I'm in the Mystic office, and the cell service in Mystic is spotty, but I don't seem to be having any problems right now, and I can't open up the link that I forwarded to my work, so I'm fine.
Okay, and I just got the alert. We should be recorded. It
Yeah,
should be
we
live.
are. We're all set. Yep. All right, so we'll call this meeting to order. This is at 11:05. Bob Carlson, the first selectman. We have Nicole Porter and Selectman Brett Mastriani with us, as well as Suzanne Thero, our admin finance officer. So this is a Zoom meeting that have a call for the town meeting on May 5th. At this point, if you want, I can read the call. Do you have copies that I sent you? You have those?
Yes.
We still have to read them into.
Yep.
As much as I hate to do this, but okay, warning is here given to the electors and those entitled to vote at town meeting of the town of North Stonington at the annual town/budget meeting that shall be held at the following location on the date and time indicated for the purposes of transacting the business set forth below. The location: North Stonington Education's Media Center, 298 Norwich Wesley Road, via Zoom, which the Zoom link is on there, meeting ID, which that is on there, as well as the passcode. It's May 5th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Only those attending the meeting in person will be able to vote. The meeting will be available for comment and viewing through Zoom at the link above, but those attending virtually will not be able to vote. All supporting documentation will be available on the town website, www.northstoningtonct.gov. So here's the questions. Question number 1, shall the town of North Stonington approve the estimates and recommendations of the Board of Finance with respect to the annual budget, including the general government operating budget of $6,013,258, redemption of debt, $1,382,949, and capital, which is $754,091 for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and the total amount of $8,150,298. Question number 2, shall the town of North Stonington approve the estimates and recommendations of the Board of Finance with respect to the annual Board of Education budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, in the amount of $16,056,441. Question number 3, shall the town approve an additional appropriation of funds from the undesignated fund in the amount of $76,000 to cover payroll for the North Stonington Ambulance Association? Question number 4, shall the town deobligate the following funds from the capital projects funds? Number 3160 sewer study for $11,898.14. Number 3315 plan of conservation and development, which is $3,478.60. Number 3320 North Stonington Volunteer Fire Rescue Truck refurbish for $100,055.84 for the North Stonington Volunteer Fire Company service truck for $480.80. Number 3534 dump truck refurbish for $3,028.29. 3536 tractor and mower, $6,500. 3538 Mack truck refurbish for $1,033.10 for a total deobligation of $126,474.77. Just to know, I've done a separate page on all these deobligations that I'll have available at the town meeting and explain each deobligation and what it was for and why we're doing it, just for clarity. Okay, it's back to the call. Notice of referendum. Resolved, the Board of Selectmen, pursuant to its authority and under the Connecticut General Statute, Section 7-7, hereby removes questions 1 and 2 to be considered at the May 5th, 2025 annual town meeting cited in the prior resolution to a referendum to be held on May 19th, 2025. The hours for voting at said referendum shall be established by vote at the May 5th, 2025 town meeting. Said hours are recommended by the Board of Selectmen to be 8 AM to 8 PM. Signed Brett Mastriani, Selectman, Robert Collison, First Selectman, Nicole Porter, Selectman. So that's the call. Do we want to make any changes or amendments?
No, my only question is, should we put the ones that we actually have to vote at the town meeting to start, or you like this setup?
Well, it's looking at all the past town meetings when it comes to budgets, Brett. I've looked at them all since 2016 to now, and they all have the questions of the
Okay.
budget first.
All right.
Only because I think they're probably the stars of the show at this point, and everything else seems to be secondary.
Right. And I don't think any of these I don't see any of them, anyone forcing or requesting to go to a ballot on any of these either, on a paper ballot, I should say. So in my mind, you're right. Maybe most of these are all show of hands anyways, or yays or nays compared to ballot. There's nothing controversial, I don't
Yeah.
think. Okay.
I did speak to Lisa Marzella, ask her if she was gonna be there in case, so she could be nominated to be the moderator. She also has a couple people in training with her that might be there also. So we'll see how that goes, but at least we will have moderator on site.
Okay. And is the ambulance going to be there just to go over?
Yes,
Okay.
Logan will be there to go over it, so he understands, he has to explain why the $76,000. And I said, I did a sheet, which I can email to you, and I could, have it at the meeting. And it looks like this, it explains all the obligations and why we're obligating them.
Okay. Is that something we should put on the website?
What's that, the sheet with the explanation?
Or with maybe
Yeah,
the digital on with the call?
Yeah, when it says that all documents for the meeting can be found on the website, I'll put that on there too.
Okay, great. So
Um,
I'll make a motion to approve the call for the meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, any other further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have to establish a time for the budget referendum. Now, on the call, we said 8 to 8. I know, Brett, you've said in the past, you'd like to maybe look at that again in the future and possibly do a 12 to 8. Again, if you want to approve, if we want to approve the 8 to 8 for this one, because it's on the call, but I don't mind if you'd like to talk about that at a future time for future referendums.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can bring that up for a future rep. The reason I mentioned that the other day is you see a lot of towns moving to the 12 to 8 because of the election costs for the rest of the year, and that you can get absentee ballots. So basically, I mentioned I saw Stonington, they're doing 12 to 8 now, and basically they're putting out the information ahead of time saying, look, if you're not going to be able to vote during those hours, just come and get an absentee ballot, and then you could do it that way. Because I do think about the amount of people that are even coming up until 12. I know it's better than the 6 to 8 was, that's for sure. But it just might be, as we see those increased hours happening for the registrars, when we look at the full year, it might be something we want to look at and I guess it depends on if we track that, and if we track those hours and how many people are coming in, then we can always talk about that for the future ones.
Did ask Connie if she would do me a favor and track from 8 to 12. I know when we tracked before, we had 5 or 6 people that came in from 6 to 8, which didn't make sense to have all those people there for those 2 hours. So, and I think when it's going 6 to 8, they have to actually get there around 5 o'clock in the morning to get everything set up. So, all right, I'll have them track that, Brett, from 8 to 12 and see what the numbers look like.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I was just going to say there's been an increased push for towns that are doing it later just for the absentee ballot, which I can't remember in my time here that we ever really pushed it that way, saying, look, if you can't make it, you can come get an absentee ballot. It was always like, come to vote. And you want people to show up to vote, but if it could look at the efficiency of town and those extra hours and just knowing with the elections that extend time, perfect.
I will say this, that being that it's the referendum for a budget, and we don't have a final budget number until like now. We go to a town meeting, and then Antoinette then has to have to tell her when this meeting's over so she can order the absentee ballots and make sure that we can get them in time. I'm sure we can, but the window's not that long. So It's not like we, in a general election in November, we know way ahead of time who's running, get the ballots early. I'll ask her what the time frame is to get absentee ballots, and if we can get them in enough time that enough people can get their hands on them, it makes sense.
Yeah, and then one other question, are we using the new voting machines for this?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, they did training on it last Tuesday or this Tuesday. Also, what I want to do is it was suggested to me that after the May 5th meeting, if I could make copies of both the Board of Education and the town budgets and put multiple copies at Town Hall, the transfer station, and maybe the library, so people could get a copy between May 5th and May 19th.
Great.
Do we have any issues with that?
No, 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 no. I think the more information, the better.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to set the hours for the referendum?
Yeah, so moved.
Okay, so go ahead. Second by Nicole,
Yes.
and that was an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for at least for this one. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, our next meeting is May 6th, if you don't count the town meeting, but the next Board of Selectmen meeting is May 6th. I think what I might do on that meeting, if it's okay, is we'll just talk about some of the projects that either been on hold or we've kind of pushed to the side that we need to discuss again, just bring them up and say, how do we want to proceed on these? There's a few RFPs that we could need to look at. The 1750 house has been advertised. But there's some things that have been lingering, I think that we could put onto the next meeting, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, on that meeting though, too, do you think you can put the mini excavator discussion on that?
Yep.
Nicole, I see your smile up there.
Love the mini excavator.
Yeah, I just know Alan's going into his main time of using them, and knowing it has to go to a town meeting, I'd love to try to at least get that discussion in front of the Board of Finance.
Okay. I think if I find one of those little matchbox car excavators, I'm gonna get it for you, Brett, just to hold you over till we get the real one.
Yeah. I'm just looking at efficiency for our tax dollars, that's it.
All right. If we're okay, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I see us adjourning at 11:16. Thank you.
Alright.
So, Nicole, I've got I don't know if you're gonna be able to get by between now and the end of the day, just to sign the thing for the thing I have to go tonight at the Grange.
Yes.
And checks are available if you come in here anyway. So, and I'll have I'll have this call in the box too, so you guys can sign this, so I'll have it.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
And hold on, Brett, are you definitely going to the Pawcatuck Little League field on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, so 10:30, we have to be there?
Yeah, I think the actual opening day ceremony starts at 11.
Okay.
And if you go in there and tell them who you are, they have special parking for you guys. You can park, VIP parking up close.
Oh, okay.
Close enough to get a ball through your windshield.
All right, well, you guys have a wonderful weekend.
You guys too. I'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.